Now we're going to bring you this week's Asia View. And the impeached South Korean president, Yoon Suk Yeol, has been indicted for his martial law declaration last month that plunged the country into political turmoil. Prosecutors accusing him of being a ringleader of insurrection. His indictment making him the country's first sitting head of state to face a criminal trial. Well, let's talk about the latest then. In Asia Live, we're going to cross to Seoul, talk to our correspondent Yena Lee, who joins us from there. Yena, what then does this latest legal development actually mean?
Well, Stuart, it means that President Yoon Suk Yeol will stand trial and that this trial could begin soon. The indictment is some 100 pages long, and in it, investigators accuse Yoon of staging riots with the goal of undermining the country's constitution. They're calling him the ringleader of an attempted insurrection. But they have stayed clear of accusing him of abuse of power or of other crimes, which is impossible right now, as sitting presidents can only be charged with insurrection or treason. In any case, Yoon's legal team says that this indictment is shameful. His Conservative Party, too, accused it of having procedural flaws. And they also criticized prosecutors of going ahead with it without having questioned the president himself. In fact, investigators had tried to interrogate President Yoon Suk Yeol before getting to this stage, but Yoon refused to cooperate. The warrant against him was set to expire today, Monday, but now with this new indictment, he can be in detention for up to 6 months. Yoon is one of 10 main suspects in this case, including a military general who allegedly planned on locking up the leader of the two main political parties and the Speaker of the National Assembly in a basement bunker. And you might also remember the former Minister of Defense as well, who's accused of plotting the idea of coming up with this martial law plan with President Yoon Suk Yeol.
Yeah, now let's end on something a little bit lighter. It is almost the Lunar New Year where you are. Of course, it's a huge thing there. Tell us a little bit about how it's celebrated.
Well, here in South Korea, traditional families might organize ancestral worship rituals, which basically consists of preparing a huge feast, serving it symbolically to the dead first before the living start eating it. Those who are perhaps Christian and or less observant organize meals without those symbolic offerings. Beyond tradition, though, of course, Lunar New Year, or Seollal as it's called here, is also a precious bank holiday for South Korean workers. And this year, the government designated this Monday as an extra day off in a bid to boost consumer spending. In China, authorities designated Tuesday as the extra day off there for similar reasons. Chinese New Year or Spring Festival is also a huge family holiday there as well. And as China is so big, what people eat and what people do does vary from region to region. For example, there's more ancestral worship in the south than in the north, but there are some common traits such as giving red envelopes to children, wearing new clothes, greeting neighbors and relatives. Last December, in fact, UNESCO even added Chinese New Year's social practices to its intangible cultural heritage list. Finally, it might not be an ancient tradition, but watching the New Year gala on state television has also de facto become a nationwide spring festival activity. It's a really glitzy, extravagant show with sometimes questionable comedy skits and sometimes very impressive performances as well. And it is also known as the world's most watched TV program. Younger generations might find it a little bit corny and outdated, but many still keep it on in the background during the festive period.
Well, I hope you enjoy it. Yena, thanks very much. Yena Lee there, our correspondent, joining us for this week's Asia View.